This little kid got suspended for school because he bit his Pop-Tart and then it sort of looked like a gun apparently. What? This is too far. Like, come on. The kid's just trying to eat a Pop-Tart and then people are making all types of accusations and assumptions. Like, it's a Pop-Tart. It's literally sugar, and he's getting suspended for it. I know these topics are serious, but like we have to draw the line somewhere. It's a Pop-Tart. This poor kid had to eat lunch all alone with this cardboard box like right in front of him, all because he was late for school. And it wasn't even his fault that he was late for school. His mom's car just wouldn't start. This is just cruel. Like, this poor kid's getting humiliated, and look how much fun these kids over here are having. Like, their faces are blurred, but I can see the fun. And he's just has to sit here and like peep away from behind a cardboard box like, what'd they say? I want to give him a hug. So this kid brought an iPad to class, even though his teacher said,
no iPads allowed.
So then what the teacher did next is kind of funny. The teacher took his iPad away and changed his password. And the only way for him to figure out the password is to figure out this math equation. Unlock code. Do not bring it again. Yeah, because after you spend all that time trying to figure out the math code, especially if math's not your best subject, you're never gonna bring an iPad, right? I mean, I can solve this no problem. Give me a second. 24. So this is the answer. Factory reset. I mean, it works. A mathematical genius. So these kids apparently didn't have appropriate haircuts, so the principal cut their hair for them. I mean, he couldn't at least give them a nice haircut. What's that line in the center for? Like, what does that even mean? Like, why do they have a path in their hair? And also, I never understand what people mean by appropriate hair. Like, how can your hair be appropriate? Like, it's like, yeah, your hair?
It's slutty.
It's hair. It's not even alive. Like, it's literally dead cells. How can my hair be inappropriate or appropriate? I'm pretty sure it's just hair. Also, I rate this haircut a 1 out of 10. So back in the day, like before like I was born and you guys were born, well, I don't know, depends how old you are. Teachers used to put cones on kids' heads to say like they're dumb, which is just so wrong, but that used to happen. A little bit of a history lesson. So this genius teacher, sarcasm, thought it was a good idea to put one of those dog cones so dogs don't scratch their ears on a student. And obviously the teacher got suspended because like, what were you thinking? It's 2018, like you can't do that anymore. Man, like our grandparents had it rough in school, like let me tell you. You better be thankful that we're living in this year, not back then. There were teachers in New Jersey who made the students eat their food off the floor because they spilled some water. I mean, the fries still look delicious, but like it's still mean. I'd still eat them, but doesn't mean everybody else would, okay? Just because I'm dirty and I'll eat fries off the floor doesn't mean every kid would. But anyways, I think that mistakes happen and you know, people spill water sometimes. I don't think somebody should be punished for spilling water and especially not eating food off the floor. Like, who do these teachers think they are? Like, where is this power tripping coming from? At this school, they thought it'd be okay to make a padded room to throw kids in there for solitary confinement. To put it in perspective, I'm pretty sure there's prisons around the world that have banned solitary confinement. This school just thinks like, it's cool if we do it. I think if you snuck your phone in there, like it wouldn't be so bad. Like I would much rather be in that room with my phone than in calculus. But that's just me. That doesn't mean that's how everybody else feels. Let's just stick with the usual punishments, like detention, telling your parents. I think that one's the worst. Like there's nothing worse than the school telling your parents that you've been naughty. Nothing worse, because then you have to go home and face the parents. Yeah, I'll take the solitary confinement. Back in the old days, when things were older, students had to memorize these really long passages, and if they got it wrong, then the teacher would make them put their hands through this thing and make them tie their hands behind their backs. Honestly, looking at this thing, I thought this was gonna be a lot worse, because this looks like some scary torture device, but I guess it's not that bad. It's still kind of messed up, like, yo, teacher, leave those kids alone. This one teacher put up a wall of shame for students who do dumb things. She's like, if I embarrass you, you won't do it again. I feel like some kids would mess up purposely just to get on the wall, you know? It's almost like social media. Like, who can get up there the most? I forgot to put my name on the quiz. I want to read them all. I forgot a negative sign. Really? That's not that big of a deal. If you lived in the 1800s, they would use this thing to smack your hands. Like I said, just be glad you're living now. I mean, I'm sure they wouldn't do it that hard, would they? I don't know. I really don't know. But think about it. If you were a teacher, even if a student was misbehaving, could you really be that mean? Okay, don't answer that. I just can't relate. So this is supposed to be a school punishment with a purpose. So basically you crouch down and you push down on your ears and it stimulates blood flow to your head, which apparently opens up your mind. I don't know how true that is, but apparently that's what it does. Some kids had to do handstands for their school punishments. You know, I would have to just drop out right then and there because I couldn't do a handstand if my life depended on it. Like this girl right here. That would be me. These guys were found fighting inside the school. As a punishment for fighting, they were given a choice. The options? Suspension or holding hands for an hour. I guess after holding hands for an hour, you would never fight again. You know, because that hand would get sweaty AF, but also you'd probably be friends after, right? Like, I don't feel like you can hold someone's hand for an hour and not be friends. Like, you guys have shared sweat at that point. Literal sweat, like you cannot not be friends. Am I right or am I right? Those are the only two options you get. Now this teacher is pretty creative with her punishments. So basically the class was caught cheating and the teacher was like, well, next time you're gonna put these on your head. Bruh. So, you know, you can't cheat. Literally, you can't. Well, I mean, you could, just not off somebody else. There's always a way to cheat. I'm not condoning cheating, don't worry. But I'm just saying, like, write a note somewhere. So this little boy was punished for calling his teacher ma'am, and she didn't like being called ma'am. She was like, no. So she made him write ma'am all these times until he got so sick of the word or so used to the word. I feel like this is how you make a habit, but sure. The reason I don't think this one's right is because he's been taught at home by his parents to, out of politeness, to call everybody sir or ma'am. So I mean, him getting punished at school for something he's being taught at home, it's a bit confusing for a kid. I feel like there's a different way to teach him. If somebody burped in my class, it wouldn't be the end of the world. It's kind of a natural bodily function, isn't it? But for this one teacher, it was the end of the world. She literally got the cops called on this kid for burping in her class. If burping was a crime, I would literally be serving a life sentence right now. I hope she got in trouble for this. This girl got expelled from school because she brought a plastic knife with her lunch. Like, literally, a pen can do more damage than a plastic knife. Like, a plastic knife is gonna break. How is she gonna spread her peanut butter? How is she gonna slice her sandwich? Like, this is just honestly ridiculous at this point. Like, I understand people wanna keep school safe, but like, plastic knives? If somebody really wanted to hurt somebody, I'm sure they could find something better than a plastic knife to use. That's all I'm saying. I feel like this is overly dramatic. She didn't mean to hurt anybody. All she wanted was some peanut butter on her toast, on her jam, with some peanut butter and jam, and they're like, nah, peace. Life ruined. This kid got arrested after he shaved his favorite sports star's face into his head. He's just a fan. Like, he just wants to put this man's face on his head. Like, I don't see what's wrong with that, and school was like, nah. But there is a silver lining to this cloud. This athlete actually found out about this and then gave him tickets to the game. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it looks a little creepy, but you don't need to suspend him. A 5-year-old girl got suspended for this Hello Kitty bubble gun. Does this look like it could hurt anybody? Well, I mean, if you really think about it, have you ever gotten soap in your eye? It can hurt someone. Soap burns. On a serious note, like, can everybody just relax? This one is really messed up. So this teacher made up a monster closet. There was this closet in the classroom and she said there was monsters in there. And if the kids misbehaved, she would throw them into the monster closet. Obviously, monsters aren't real and this closet is fake, but like, not all kids know that. And she's throwing them into this monster closet where they think they're stuck there with monsters. Like, that's not okay. Sorry, I'm raising my voice just because I'm upset. Like, you're a grown woman. Like, think for a second. Really, just all it would take was like one brain cell to figure out that this isn't okay. Just one. I'm not even asking you to use all your brain cells, just one. So this cute little girl with her cute little braids was playing with her braids in class because, I mean, if you had braids like that, wouldn't you play with them too? I mean, I play with my hair all the time, but imagine you had like beads in them, you'd be like, duh, duh, duh. And the teacher was so annoyed that she just cut off the girl's hair. This is like literally my mind is blown. Especially because you know how long it takes to grow hair? Now this girl has to start from scratch again? Nah. Like, I feel like a better solution would have been if like you really wanted her to stop playing with the braids is maybe giving her a hair elastic and asked her if she could maybe tie her hair back because then it wouldn't be like in her face and she wouldn't play with it. I don't even know if that's an appropriate solution, but I'm saying it's much better than cutting your hair because it's not permanent. Like it's just like, you know, pull it back a bit and, you know, it's not there to play with. So this girl from China posted this picture online of this weird punishment they have at her school where they make them kneel on frozen peas. Those are like indents from peas. That looks pretty painful. Oh, it's probably so cold and so uncomfortable. I can't. Instead of something happening, they expelled her. Like the school was like, how dare you post this online? I'm literally like appalled. Well, anyways, guys, if anything ever, like anything close to anything like this, but ever happens to you, you go speak to an adult, and because it shouldn't be happening. There is an appropriate way to punish someone, and there is a very inappropriate way to punish someone. Like if people are asking you to kneel on frozen peas, don't do it and go talk to somebody because that's not okay. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I love you all so much. Stay awesome, stay sweet, and don't forget to be nice to each other. Bye.